January 16th, 1932, Bristol Hospital,
Yeah,
Bristol, Connecticut. It was a good day, too.
it was. Why was it good?
Well, my mother was proud of me. Yeah, one sister, there was five of us, one sister,
Three brothers.
four kids, yeah.
Were you the youngest?
Oh yeah, I was the last one. They took a look at me and my dad was a machinist in New Departure.
Again to Bristol, Connecticut, to visit the plant of New Departure Manufacturing Division, a unit organized as a separate entity nearly 50 years ago, and a member of the General Motors family since 1918.
Yeah, since he went to work at 14.
Wow. Same company since 14.
I think it was with New Departure. When he retired, he was with New Departure 40 years. My mother was born in Winston, Connecticut. My father was born in Fishkill, New York. His parents were Annie Burns and Peter Burns. And Peter was born in Ireland, and Annie Burns was born in Jersey Isle, England.
Fishler.
Canada.
Gotcha.
Oh, Canada,
And,
yeah.
and they ended up at Fishkill, New York.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And my father was born in Fishkill.
Mm-hmm.
And he was what? Hey, let me say, there was his brother Jim was the oldest, then there was him, Anna, Alice, Bob, Harry, Billy, and John. Was that 10? Did they have 10 kids?
I don't know.
He used to go to Canada a lot, and every time he would come back from Canada, he had a kid. So he had 10 kids, so he was in Canada 10 times. Well, young Peter was the youngest of five.
Mm-hmm.
Young Peter had all the hand-me-downs.
Gotcha.
So he always had plenty of shoes and clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And they were always big for him, so he had to grow into them. As far as back I remember was be third grade.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I was down in the backyard on Divinity Street with my brother. And we were building a fort or a hut, whatever you want to call it. We had a baling wire. One sprung back, hit me in the eye, and I went home and playing blind man's bluff.
Mm-hmm.
I was running under the walls. My father come up and looked at me with a flashlight and said, "Get in the car." Went to the eye doctor and brought me down to New Haven.
Mm-hmm.
And I was what? How old was I then? I think
About 5.
about 5.
Wow.
And I didn't leave New Haven for 4 weeks. They removed the eye, and that was the start of the trials and tribulations of Peter Burns. I'm surprised no big thing was made of it.
It was kind of just.
Well, I have a brother who was blind, you know.
Really? Like from birth?
No, he was tied a bunch of little trucks together when he was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Took a knife and went to cut the strings and hit his eye.
Oh, gosh.
And then he was they put him in, I think it was St. Francis, I'm not sure. They tried to treat the eye. And then treating the eye, the other eye went blind.
Wow.
I think he was about 4 or 5 years old.
So that was
At the time.
before yours, man. Wow.
Oh, he went to Institute for Blind in Hartford.
Mm-hmm.
That was on Holcomb Street in Hartford, at the top of a hill. And he had Braille books, and the Braille books were about yay or yay.
Yeah.
He opened a bunch of dots in there.
Mm-hmm.
And he had, I didn't save any, but he had 4 or 5 of those. They're about that big, about this, like this. And he was the Institute for Blind for, 15 years, I guess.
Gotcha.
In fact, he was kind of old when he got out.
Yeah. And that's where they sort of transition you to like live an everyday life.
Me?
No, your brother.
Yeah, he.
They teach you skills and.
They put him in trade.
Mm-hmm.
Trade place down in Weathersfield. They taught him how to cane chairs. They taught him how to make rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Something happened. I went to visit Lou, and I'm sitting there one time, and I hear a noise, and I come out and Lou's laying on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened? He said, I saw my gun come down the wrong side of the stairway.
Huh.
Louis was coming down the stairs, and the guy was going up. He should have went up the other stairs.
Yeah.
Ran into Louis, and they both ended up down the bottom.
Oh gosh.
They were both blind, so I go,
Yeah.
what the hell, you know? And I turned to Lou, I said, Lou, you don't have a picture to him. Oh, your TV is gone. He looked at me, he said, Peter, he said, what's that blind guy want with a picture?
So your
But
other.
he was that type of a guy. He was,
Yeah.
Lou was a intelligent man. He knew the batting average. Everybody played for the Yankees because he listened to the radio.
Listen
all
to
the
the
time.
radio. Yeah.
So, and he grew up, he ran his own store down at Uncle's on the Thames for quite a while.
Oh yeah.
You know, as far as myself goes, I never knew what it was to see.
Mm-hmm.
It happened so young, you don't remember before that.
Yeah.
So it never bothered me.
It was just way of life for you, more or
Yeah,
less.
I mean, I used to get picked on a lot when I was a little kid because I had one eye. So
Mm-hmm.
people are cruel.
Yeah.
So I went through that phase, but I come out all right.
Mm-hmm.
I learned to use my mouth, if nothing else. I couldn't use my fist, I was too small.
Mm-hmm.
But I learned all the bad words earlier. Well, there was George, the oldest. George was spoiled run, the family and mommy's boy, so he fared well for himself. He married, had 3 or 4 kids. There was Eleanor, she was a spinster, she didn't get married. There was Edward, never got married and died young.
How young?
How old was he?
54.
54, that was young.
Mhm.
He never got married.
Mhm.
But he was in the Air Corps. And he didn't retire, he just busted out. He worked for Sessions Clock.
Mm.
George worked for Land of Fairies and Clark. They made coffee pots over New Britain.
Gotcha.
Eleanor worked for Sessions. She was a supervisor at Sessions. Who else was there? Louis was blind. He ran a store down in Uncle's on the Thames.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it, right?
And you?
And me. I served my apprenticeship in Nudie Parker.
Yep.
So I ended up as a machinist. My father was a foreman. And I was made foreman. I had the same people working for me that worked for my father.
Wow. So you got some legacy there.
In fact, they used to, half the guys used to call me George.
Yeah.
Because they always think they were talking to my father.
Mm-hmm.
And I never corrected them because why? I mean,
Yeah. Makes no difference to you.
it may be different. Birds is birds, no matter where you go.
Mm-hmm.
And I was fortunate. I was able to work my way up.
Mhm.
I worked there 35 years.
About 30. About, I don't know, something like that.
Whatever.
Something like that.
I retired, good income,
Yeah.
got a golden handshake. People missed me when I was gone. They told me that. So
It's gotta feel nice.
it's funny they didn't do what I told them when I was there.
Yeah.
4,
What?
World War II.
I said 42. You must have been about 10 when they went in.
When the
Yeah.
U.S. Yeah.
9 or 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember what it was like during wartime? You were young.
I remember that my mother put the star in the window. When you had somebody in the service, they put a star in a window.
Gotcha. Like all the houses in the neighborhood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had somebody in the service.
Hmm.
And my mother put, and he was in the Marine Corps. He went to Paris and then Palo Island. He was in the